This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Good evening, online. Hi, Dinesh. Hi, Tausif. Good, good. Hi, Purnima. So, everyone are in vacation mood, huh? Yeah, offline. Okay. All right. So, let's jump on. Good to see you all here. And have you done practice? Not yet? Okay. How about you online? Very good, Siddharth. Okay. So, you will get the recordings. So, as I said, please, this especially DevOps, please enroll for the recordings. I'm saying because definitely you need this because while doing the practice, we cannot remember all those things. So definitely you need to go through the recordings, right? Okay. So if you already have a recording gone through it, that's good. Please do it. And those who have done the practicals, that good. Those who have not done, it is very, very, very important for you to do the practicals. Okay. Okay. So in our yesterday's class, we have seen so many commands, right? So many commands. Yeah, good commands. Yeah, yes. These are all purely used in the real time, right? So we have, okay, let me quickly revise on the commands. So do you remember SED to replace the words? Set commands. And then what we have here, wget. W command is used for what purpose? To download from the internets. And then if you want to install any package, yeah, install -y. And do you remember systemctl? What is the command to start the service? Systemctl status service names or status start, restart, stop, anything you can use. Or in other words, you can also use service nginx status. And if you want to see all the processes running, ps. And if you want to but see only particular process, then what we can use? ps-ef. And what we can do? We can grep it. We can use grep. And right, there is a asking, Sweta is asking, curl and wget difference. Now, wget is used to download, literally downloading the files. Whereas curl is used to retrieve the content of it. So basically, if you want to, let's say, yeah, viewing the content of that URL. Let's say you put Facebook. So that's that Facebook index page will be there, right? So it will be replied that this is the content, you'll see it, right? Yeah, it's kind of API call. Yeah, we learned yesterday also, right? API calls. Okay, so and also we have pgrep we have learned, and then if you want to kill any process, what is the command that we use? Kill -9. Smoothly we can kill it, right? And then also systemctl we have learned uname -a if you want to know the system information, and if you want to know the disk file system related things, so df-h. And if you want to use the disk usage, you can use du. And free-h also related to your memory related things. Uptime will show you. Yes, very good. Right. So you are a line examiner, right? I know. Right. So uptime, right? So uptime of the server. And also we show here top command. Top command is helpful for what? To see the system information, process information, all related things. But as you are already Linux admin, I'm just asking, whatever we are running is purely real time and useful in real time or not? Yes or no? Good. So, and if you want to see any package, whether it is installed or not, what's the command that we use? RPM minus QA, right? Package, and then give the package name, grep it. So, and then this also, you can use either RPM or you can use DNF or you can use mlist available. And if you want to use if config, so generally if config will not work. So you need to install what first? NetTools you need to install. After that, you can use if config. And also we have learned about the ping command. So ping command is used to get the response from the target. It can be website, it can be server, it can be anything, right? So you will get the heartbeat. Yes, correct, Dinesh. You will get the heartbeat. Very good. What protocol it uses? ICMP protocol. What's that? ICMP. Huh? It has no. It has port number. For every protocol, there will be a port number, right? So I don't remember the port number, but it has definitely, right? Really? ICMP. Um, because I remember in security groups, we used to do that. Oh, it does not have the port number. Just a second. Just quickly. So, okay. So it supports all. Correct. Correct. It has port number. It has port number, but the thing is ICMP covers all port numbers. So it is, but definitely for every protocol, there will be a port number. It will, that's it. Okay, fine. Okay, so after that, what we learned, Rana? So we learned netstat. So netstat command is used for what purpose? To see all the TCP UDP connections, right? And also we have seen the curl command to see the content of, to retrieve the content of the file or the URL, or you can call the APIs also using this curl. And also we have seen here what telnet, what's that? Telnet. So telnet, you can check whether the port number is opened or not on the server using telnet. And also we learned about the environment variables yesterday. So what is the command to see all the environment variables? Print env. And then how to create an environment variable here? Export variable name and then value. And if you want to print this. And apart from this, yesterday we have seen installing Java, and then we have Java version that we have used, and we switched that version using the environment variables, right? Good. So this is what we have discussed in our last class. So now what we do is, let us go and try to do some user management, creating users and all, right? Oh, before that, what I need to do? Launch AC2 instance. I didn't have a time. Which one here? Red Hat Linux. But is it clear now till here, everyone online? All the commands that we have learned and practice is must, please. Okay. See here, user management. Very good, Dinesh. Yes, I told you, all those 7 steps are in your mind or not? Everything is injected in your brains, right? Yeah, good, Dinesh. So here, users and groups in not in AWS, in Linux, what we have, you can manage the users and groups. Similarly, how we have IAM users, IAM groups. Similarly, here also in Linux, we can create the users and give the permissions. So here, we have two things, Anna. Authentication, authorization. Say that. We have learned this in where? In IAM, SAML. Remember? Identity Center. Authentication meaning, who are you? Authorization meaning, what can you do? What will you do? Right? What exactly work you will be doing it, right? So here, that is the permissions to work. So here, let's go ahead and try to, Nana, if you take a root, yes, if you take a root, you have the full permissions or not? But our EC2 user has any full permissions? No, it doesn't have any full permissions. So now what we do, let us go and create the user. What's the command to create user? User add and then give the name. And if you want to set the password, password. And remember, password meaning, don't think it is a spelling mistake, right? It is PASSWD only. That is how it will be identified in the Linux. Okay. Let's connect first of all. You can fill this before itself. You can. Yes, correct. So what is our landing command? Sudo hyphen yes. So sudo hyphen yes, go for it. Okay. Now we are in the root. This root has full permissions or not? So this root has full permissions and we can add users and we can do everything. Let us go and learn how to add users. See here, till now in our AWS classes, what we did, we logged in as all the time EC2 minus user. EC2 minus user is a user or not in the machine? It is already created. There is a file where you can see all the users. Yeah, it is /etc/password. So I'll be showing that. Before that, let us start creating the users. What's the command to create user here? User add. Say that with me online, everyone. Put it in the chat. So what's the command? User add. I'm just putting here Riaz. So user got added. And we need to give the password of this user or not? What's the command? Password. PASSWD. What's that? Yes. Online, everyone, when I'm putting the command, please put it in the chat so that you'll remember it. So password and then Riaz. It is asking for the password. Our favorite password. Root 12345 6. I am giving that. Root 12345 6. I'm giving it. And root 12345 6. It shows like this. So it says it is too would simplistic, right? So that's okay. It is simplicity is good for me. So let's go for here. So my username got created or not? Guys, this paint is full. Let's go with the new paint. Okay. So what's the command that we use here? User add. So what this is used to create user. Next to set the password, what is that? Password user add, and then I call it as username. And then here, password, username. And this, and sorry. So this password is successfully created. And where do you see all these passwords or all these users, basically not password, all these users? There is a file called, say this with me guys, etc/password. What I'm not doing CD here. I'm doing what? Cat. I want to see the content of the file. What is that file here? etc password. If you enter it, do you see at the end, we already have one EC2-user that is created before by AWS. And here what we have here, the one which I have just created. Understood? Huh? So what is the command here where you to see all the users? Cat etc/password. Okay, I'm clearing it. You tell me how to add a user now. Add user or user add? Add user also will work, but let's go with one. User add. Add user will also will work. Okay. So user add, and then what is that here? I'll call it as Mr. John. And then password John. And then, by the way, sir, you are typing the password, but we are not able to see why. Because of security reasons, please. Okay. Because, and by the way, in Linux, in Windows also, you will get star symbols, right? So you cannot see the password, right? The nature of this, but in Linux, whenever you are typing the password, it will not be visible, but the type will be happening it, right? It will not, remember, password will not be visible because there are so many people, they think that, sir, I'm typing the password, but it's not visible for me. How do I know I'm typing the right password or not? I mean, come on, you should know what you are typing, right? Yeah. Correct. We cannot pass, right? Yeah, you should not pass. Yeah, fine. Now I created this user. Did I create a user called Riaz already? Now I want to switch to that user, either Riaz or John. What is the command to switch? Change user or SU. What is that? SU. What is that? SU and Riaz. Do you see this here? Now I switch to Riaz or not? Online. So what is the command to switch that Nana here? SU hyphen Riaz, or I call it as surname. Very good. Okay. Now in if I say who am I? Okay, so I already said that command. So what is the command to know which user I have logged in? Who am I? Who am I here? Riaz. Okay. Fine. Riaz is an user that got created. Does Riaz has permissions to create another users? What is your answer? Answer is no. So how to give permissions to Riaz to create users? Uh, so what we do? Yes, correct. So what we do is, let's try to add. Now in which user we have? Yes. So user add, I'm putting Pushpa. What's the username? If I hit enter, what it says? Read it everyone. Permission. Because I'm putting these errors so that you can get to know. What is that here? User add Pushpa. What says user add Pushpa? So permission denied. So that meaning this Riaz is not a sudo user. That meaning what we call, he doesn't have permissions. But generally, if you want to execute, what we do here? Sudo we put. What we do? Sudo. Sudo, and I'll put user add Pushpa. Because I'm giving the sudo permissions and then adding it. If I put sudo, it is asking the password for Riaz. So I'm giving the password root 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see that error that it says? Read it, everyone. Riaz is not in the sudoers file. Actually, Riaz is a sudoer. He's a sudoer which has full permissions. No, but even though he's not a sudoer, but he's trying to create a user, which is not good. That's why it says this incident will be reported. Be careful. Don't do this kind of activities. So here what I do is, now I am the root user. I want Riaz to handle the user management. So I need to add this Riaz to the sudo file or not? Yes or no? Online. So for that, what we need to do is, let's add Riaz to which file? Sudo file. That meaning we are giving the permissions to Riaz. So for that, I need to come back to my root or not? So which user I am here? Riaz. So if I come out, what I need to do? You just type exit or control D. Control D. I logged out. And I'm into which user now? Root user. So now what I need to do? I need to open what? Which file? Sudo file. So there is a command called vi sudo. Say that. Yes, Kalyan, you can use that also. So here I'm using which one here? Vi sudo. If you hit enter, So we have this entire file. So in this entire file, there will be a root. Guys, how to search in this file? Slash colon slash, what you need to type here? Root. Very good, Dinesh and everyone. Colon slash. If you want to search a word inside the file, right? You can search from outside using said. You can grep it also. What happened to my throat? Right? So do you see that here? There is, excuse me. Okay. So let add this user Riaz inside this sudo file. So what I'm using here, press which mode? Go to which mode? Insert mode. It got hanged or what? Okay, insert mode. And here what I need to put in a, okay, let's not write it. Let's use our, I want to copy the line. What is the command online? YY. What's that? YY. And I put here P. Right? So, and then just replace this root with what here? Yes. And save. How to save? Colon WQ. Excellent. So everyone understood here how to add the user to the sudo file online? Nana, who yesterday who is those two persons? Babani and Shiva. Are we there, Nana? Chiti? Shiva, you there, Chiti? Okay. And how about other who is Babani? Okay, Hussain bhai. Okay, ma, understood. Babani and Shiva. Clear for you? Okay, no problem. Babani and Shiva, I need your replies. Yes. PEM. You cannot give PEM file. PEM file you should not give. Yeah. Okay, fine. Sudo here. Okay, fine. So now Riaz is added to the sudo or not? Okay, now let's switch to Riaz. What is the command? Su hyphen Riaz. Now I am Riaz. Now let's try to add. What's the command? Sudo. What is that? User add. Which one? Pushpa. So what's the password? Root 12345 6. Now it's added or not? So where, in which file I should see the command the user is added or not? Say that online cat etc. Which one? Password. And do you see Pushpa got added or not? Okay. Understood everyone? How to add? You cannot see the password. The next here is the password here. You cannot see the password. Yes, we can. We can. Okay. So here you can add Sumalika. You can without sudo also. Without sudo also we can directly use the command user add. Okay. So what is the command that we use here to add? Vi sudo. Which one here? Vi sudo we have used. Sumalika, your question got answered? Yeah, fine. Okay, Rana. So now let's move. We have so many things. Let's not spend more time here. And also similarly, what we can do, we can add groups also. What we can do, we can add. What's the command to add the group? Group add, let's say DevOps. So similarly here also we can do that. So I'm coming out, I'm into my root. So what's the command? Tell me. Group add, let's say which group here? DevOps. So if at all, if you create a user, which is the file that it get saved? What is the file? etc password. Similarly, if you create a group, all the groups will be stored in a file called similarly cat etc/group. If you hit it, Do you see just now we created in the bottom, we have the group here. So remember, that is how you create a group. So I'll write it here. How to create a group now here? Group, add, and then group name. So where does it show? cat/et/group. Nice. Let's move on. You know this who, right? And then if you type, if you want to see here who, right? Who has logged in? It's just similar like who am I, right? And then which user has logged in, right? And also last. So what has happened in the last? So this user has still logged in, right? Still running. All the information you will get it there. So let's move on to the next one, which is permissions. What's that here? Permissions. So permissions is little bit important, but I'll just give you the overview of how the permissions look like so that you can easily understand. Now, if you take the permissions here, let's create a file here. What's the command? Let's say file one. So if I do ls minus ltr, do you see this here? The first one represent what here? The first one represent, is it a file or a directory? If it says dash, that means it is just a file. And then what you have here, R meaning here, read, W meaning write. And then last one also. So we have here how many sets? Read, write, execute is there. What's that? Read, write, execute. RWX. Say that. RWX. Read, write, execute. So here we have three things enough. What we can, so we have read, write, execute here is there. Again, read, write, execute is there. Again, read, write, execute. How many sets are there here? Three. So the first three here, yes, I'm coming. So first three, we call it as what? For what? Users. What's that here? First three, that is for what? Users. And next three is for what purpose? Groups. And last three is for what purpose here? Others. So what are the legends that we have here? First three are what? So read, write, execute. Again, read, write, execute. Again, read, write, execute. So the first one, this is what? Users. This one is groups. This one is others. And here in Linux, R meaning here what? Read, and we have a number called for this, how much? 4. So we can give the permissions based on the numbers also here. So read always represent what here? 4. Listen carefully. And then what we have? Write. So write represent what? 2. And X. What is X meaning here? Execute. Execute represent 1. So based on this, you need to give the permissions. Based on this, you need to give the permissions. Now, if you go here, we have read. We have read, write. What is that we have? The first three section is for whom? For users. For whom? Users. For users, this file has read and write. But do you have execute? Do they have execute permissions here? No. So for that meaning, R represent which number? 4. Say that. 4. Write represent which number? 2. 4 plus 2? 6. So users has which number here? 6. And this number, how much? Tell me. How much? Online. 4. Because R represent here 4. But and next we have, do we have any permissions here? So that meaning only which number here? 4. And this also 4. So the permissions for this file in the numeric form is what? 644. Understood? 644. Online getting it, Nana? 644. Okay. Now you want to, so based on the requirement, you can change the permissions. Now let's say, for example, you tell me, I want to give full permissions for users. What's the command? What's the command? Chmod. Say that. chmod, and tell me what's the command? 744. Which one? 744, and then you put your file one. If you put ls minus ltr, do you see this? Now the users has execute permissions or not? Got it now? You're getting it? And then this is the user and this is the group, right? And for group level also we can give the permissions or not. Now I want to give write permissions for group. Tell me that. Chmod 7. I want write permissions also. Read and write. 764. Very good. 764 file 1. ls minus ltr. It's up to you, whichever the permissions that you want. 400. 400. What purpose? Only for read purpose. So it is not mandatory that only 400 you should give. So it is based on requirement. So if the users wants to read only that PEM file, so you put 400. If the users want to, is there anything to execute that? PEM file will you execute? Then what is the purpose of giving execute? So for that reason, whichever is the requirement, you need to use that permissions. Okay, now I want full permissions. Hmm. Online, tell me. Chmod 777 and then file 1. ls minus ltr. Is it good to give full permissions? So now I want to say that users need to have full permissions. Groups need to have, uh, they cannot write, but they can read and execute. And others also same, read and execute. 755. Very good. Fantastic. Chmod. Which one are here? 755 file 1. So ls minus ltr. Sorry, ls minus ltr. Do you see? Understood the permissions giving, right? So remember, so for this particular root group, so they have for all the users, for this root user, he has full permissions. And for the group called root, they have only read and execute. And for all rest of the others, they have only read and execute. So based on the requirement, you need to keep on changing the permissions. So understood? What's the command to change the permissions? Chmod. Chmod. Example, I'm putting 755 and then file name. Then clear on the permissions online. Good. Fantastic. Lingar, Lingaret is asking to repeat. So where exactly? Guys, I'm saying when I'm teaching it, you should concentrate a little bit, right? If you miss little bit again, so which exactly, Lingareddy, which one you want me to explain? The whole concept. So quickly, I'm repeating it here. See, please, if you guys, online people especially, you should concentrate. If you're just not concentrating, looking others and then talking with others, if you miss the concept again asking to repeat, please, so many people are waiting, others, right? But just to repeat it, so for every file in the Linux, we have what here? Read, write, execute permissions. What is that? Read, write, execute. So so we can set the default permissions also. We can set default permissions, but we are not covering that, Chandan. But we can set default permissions. Where do we set default permissions? Uh, exactly. Kalyani said that umask also there. So using umask also we can set the permissions, right? So umask is the best way to do the permissions, right? Yeah. But let's not go to umask and doing all this. We are not here Linux admins to do it, right? Yeah. Thank you, Kalyani and Dinesh. Yeah. Okay, fine. So, who is that? Linga Reddy. So for Linux, we have read and execute permissions. So for read, what is the number that we have? 4. For write, what we have? 2. And for execute, we have 1. So we have 3 segments here: users, groups, others. So for every file that you take, here we have users, groups, and then what? Others. User groups, others. So based on the you go, or you can say that you go, right? UGO, right? So based on that, guys, I'm showing the numerical format. You can go with alphabetic formats also. You can go with the alphabetic formats also. Yeah. So here, based on the requirement, you need to give the number. So now we have R. This is users, right? R represent 4, W represent 2, X represent what? Yeah, 1. So that meaning 4 plus 2 plus 1, how much? 7. So that meaning the users has which permissions? 7. That meaning full permissions. So here, Lingareddy, what we have? We have 4, 0, and 1. 4, 0, 1. How much? 5. So that meaning the groups has only read and execute. For the rest of the people, we have also 5. So based on this requirement, based on the requirement, you need to keep on changing the permissions. What's the command that we use here? chmod. Okay, na? Okay, so now let's move to, you know very well how to install packages. What's the command to install package? Let's install Nginx or HTTPD. Yum install -5, which one? HTTPD. So I have installed this. I have installed. So I want to uninstall this. What's the command? Yum remove. What's that? Yum remove. So I thought you about how to install it, but I hadn't said how to remove it. So what's the command here? Yum remove HTTPD. So say yes. So it is erasing. So this is very important command in the real time. So we know how to install, but we also should know how to remove. What's the command? Yum remove service name or HTTPD. Sir, we'll also be learning shell scripting now. So this will be helpful to run the command. I'll not be teaching shell scripting here. No. Shweta, no. Because that needs little bit of scripting language knowledge, right? Yeah. Yeah. For DevOps skills, shell scripting is not required. But if you want to do some kind of scripting automation on the Linux part, then you can go for learning shell scripting. But whatever the commands that we are using, the bash commands, if you group it, what is that called? Shell only, right? Yes. So thank you, Karthik, for reminding. So guys, you have again the free Linux classes conducted by Naresh IT where it will be covered there. So this DevOps class, I'll be covering the commands which is used for the DevOps. In fact, I'm covering even more commands also. But please, if you want a full-fledged Linux administration and then shell scripting, so you have a free class, I think from Prashant on 20th. Huh? Yeah. Some other, okay, yeah. Okay, -y meaning here, Sumalika, yes. Yes for everything. Guys, if you want a separate Linux classes, please contact admin. He will let you know. Okay, let's move on. Y meaning agree to, yes, agree, like yes for everything, Sumalika. Let's move on. No? So here, logging in auditing. So we have something called journal CTL. Say that. So if you want to specifically see a particular service logs, this is also very important. What is that here? Journal CTL hyphen. So let's say, for example, let me install again. Which one? Yum install -y. Which one? HTTPD. Let's install. Correct. I know Kalyani, you're also Linux admin, looks like. Right, she's responding nicely. Dinesh, Kalyani, and all other people. See, Kalyani, Linux admin. Yeah, good. Okay, so here, general, say that. General CTL -u, which service name here? HTTPD. So do we have any entries here? Are there any logs at the moment here? There are no logs. So remember, if you want to use display the logs for a particular service, this is also very important command in real time. Which one is in a general CTL-U service name. And all these things, CPU information, memory information, you know, right? What is the command? ls CPU and ls mem. We already covered this. What is this? fdisk minus L. What it shows? Fdisk minus L. It shows the sectors. So we have start and end sectors. Yesterday we have learned this, right? fdisk to get the disk information. Okay, these are all you know, IP address. And okay, let's move on to now really interesting thing which is commonly used in our real time. I have been, many people have this requirement in your real time. Sir, how to transfer files from Windows to Linux? Yes or no? It's very common real time question that, sir, how to transfer files from Windows to Linux? Generally, we learn how to transfer Linux to Linux, Windows to Windows. But do you know how to transfer Windows to Linux? Tell me honestly. No. For that reason, we use a concept called here WinSCP. What is that? WinSCP. WinSCP is a tool that you can use it. So I don't think so WinSCP is there. Let's quickly install WinSCP. You can use FileZilla. I'll use FileZilla also. Remember, we use FileZilla in AWS. Where? Anyone? Very good. So we used FileZilla for what? Transfer family. Remember? SFTP server, transfer server. Okay, so we can do that also. So guys, here for every requirement, there have alternate solutions will be there. Yes or no? So if I want to copy, use it, I'm using WinSCP. Some other guy will say use FileZilla. Some other guy will say use FTP. There are multiple ways, but I want to show you few ways that you can easily use it. Okay. No need to restore. Finish. Okay, see here. Open WinSCP. Come on. Okay. So this is the WinSCP tool, which is very quite commonly used in the real time also. So what we need to do now here. So you need to just, so you need to select here SCP, give the host name and details. Let's go. If I open this, the left side one is my what? My laptop. I mean my desktop here. So what you need is just press a new tab here, and what you need to give here, go for SCP, or you can go for SFTP, whichever you want, right? So here, which one I'm using here? SFTP. Which one? SFTP. So let us set up, let us use SFTP. And then what's the host name I need to give here? Whose IP address I need to give? EC2 instance, IP address, copy it. And then what is the username? What's the username? What's the username? EC2 hyphen user. Do we have password for it? No, what we have here, click on advanced. In authentication, what we have the PEM file. Okay, so where is your 730? So we have this PPK. Go for it and then click on OK and click on what here, Nana? Login. Accept. You see this? So now on the left side, do you see home/ec2 minus user? So I'm in my home directory or not? So guys, where I'm here, I'm in my home directory. What are the files that we have here? File one. Do you see file one is visible here? Hmm? And go here wherever that you want. Go to the desktop. I have so many things. Let's say products.json 13 KB, drag, drop. Click on OK. And if I go here and do ls, I have products.json. Huh? Easiest way. So this is one of the easiest way to do how to copy from Windows to Linux. Clear? Hmm? Online clear enough? Okay. So I have shown you how to transfer from Windows to Linux using which tool? WinSAP. Shravan Kumar is asking once again. Guys, where exactly? Shravan, where did you miss? Shravan, where did you miss? Tell me. So what I did simply, just copying. How to do? Just take here, drag and then drop. That's it. And if you want to drag here and then drop also for Windows, it will also work. Understood? Just drag and drop, Shravan. Okay. Fine. So this is how I showed you WinSCP, how to transfer the files from Windows to Linux. Now let us copy the files between the Linux machines. Linux to Linux. Using what command? SCP. Using what command here? SCP. So SCP meaning secure copy protocol. What is that? Secure copy protocol. It's a command line tool used for securely transferring files between local and remote host or between two remote hosts using which SSH for encryption and authentication. So what we need to do is we need to have how many machines for this? Two machines. How many machines I have launched here? I'm closing this. So let me go and launch one more machine here. Hmm? So what I do, I'll select and then which one will use? Launch more like this. So I call it as Linux 2. Okay, T2 micro, all are fine. I'm going for this. Okay, security groups, all are fine. And let's go and launch. So I want to copy from where to where? From one Linux to another Linux. So let it come up. So what we do, which is the command that we use here? SCP command. What's that? SCP. So what's the command? So let's say, for example, I have here non-IT and products.json, all these files. Assume that I want to copy this file to another server. So I'm just clearing it. So what's the command here? SCP. Say that. SCP minus I. Here we need to put the PEM file because you need to authenticate the second server or not. How do you authenticate a second server? Using PEM file. So we need to put the PEM. But do we have any PEM file here? Do you have any PEM file? No. How do we do? Copy from laptop. I told you, you can create also, but just now I used which one? WinSCP, right? Can I push it? Let's try. Or else what you can do? You can create the file here itself. Copy paste is easy. Let me go and create the file here. Okay. So what is the PEM file that we are using here? 7:30 p.m. batch. Right. So I need the same name. Copy this. Okay. Let me use this. Okay. And then paste 7:30 p.m. dot which one? PEM file. What's the command to create the file? VI. Go inside it. And what I need to paste it here? I need to paste PEM file. So 730, open this, copy the entire count data, and then here, right click and then paste. And we need to save it. How to save it? Escape colon WQ exclamatory. So now here, I just created, but we need to give the permissions or not. Just now I told you, what's the command to give the permission? chmod. So chmod, I just give 400 because I'm just giving only what permissions? Read permissions. You can give 700 also, you can give 77 also, 75 and also anything. But remember, it is always good to give only limited permissions because that is PEM file, right? chmod, and then what I put here? 7:30 p.m. So my PEM file is ready. Should we go and use that command now? So what's the command here? scp -i, and then we need to put this PEM file. So which is the file that you want to copy? You want non-IT? So just select that non-it.txt. But if you want the entire directory also, can you put the entire directory slash? Okay, now this, and then to which user, to which server that you are copying this? The second server, right? Guys, here, second server, what is the user that you log in? EC2 hyphen user at the rate. We need to put the IP address of that machine. So IP address meaning, do I need to put the public IP address or private IP address? Tell me. Everyone will say public, but here we should go for private because I told you within the VPC, two EC2 wants to talk to each other. Then which IP that you should use? Private IP. So grab the private IP of which one? Second server, copy it, and then what here? Paste it. Can you please see this command once? Analyze this command. And then colon slash, where exactly that you want to transfer, in which directory? Home. In which directory? EC2. See this command, please. Online, analyze this command once. I'm telling this command here. See again. scp-i. Which one we need to put in here? 7:30 p.m. batch.pem file. Why we are putting? Because we need to authenticating the second server or not. So we are putting it. And what are the file that you want to copy? Put it. It can be file also here, or it can be directory also here. And then with which username that you are logging into the second machine? EC2 minus user at the rate. Whose IP is this? Second server private IP, and this file, where do you want to copy it? Home directory of that server. So simply here, click on here and say yes. And do you see this here? What it says, non-IT TXT 100%, it is transferred or not? It is transferred. Now, how do you check? Log into the second server. Quickly, let's go and log into the second server, guys. EC2-user advanced. And here I go for, sorry, which one? Okay, accept. So what's the landing command for us? Sudo hyphen, yes, clear. Where should I go? I'm already here. If I do ls, do you see non-it.txt here? Right? Yes, we can pass the entire directory also. We can pass the entire directory also. So here so here let's take mkdir. Which one? Test, right? And then go inside the test and try to create some files. Okay. So dot. Okay. So now we have that, right? Test. So we use the same command here. Instead of here non-it.txt, what I need to put? What I need to put here? Test. Test. Hit it, enter. So Okay. So, hmm? Yeah, hyphen R we need to put, but we need to find the syntax there. So syntax we need to find again. So I don't remember the syntax, but here, so I don't think so. Huh? No, I don't think so. No, that, so the small things, no. So we just need to, you need to put the entire path. Okay. I don't think so, the entire path. No. Hmm? Which one? Here hyphen R. Done. Good. Right. So these commands, by heart, you don't remember it until and use it. So you just put it, find out the commands and then put it hyphen. Hyphen R for what purpose here? Recursive purpose. Okay. But is it clear, guys, how to set up, how to transfer files from one place to another place here online? It will be there, no? Right. So do you see this here? All Python files. Okay. Okay. So that's how I showed you how to set up, how to copy the files from one Linux machine to another Linux machine. So different PEM files meaning what is the command? We should not use different PEM files. We should only use one PEM file only, Shravan. Okay. Let's move on now. Set up what here? Apache web server. What's that here? Apache web server. You know how to set up Apache web server? Yes or no? So, sir, one of the use cases, sir, if we are running it on VMware, can we enable file sharing on VMware and files will be downloaded folder? Will this approach work in real time or just for practice? As in real time, we will not be using it. Yes, but if you have virtualization concept, Abhishek, we can do that file sharing concept. But here, as we are using EC2, still you can use it with VMware, possible, but the setup should be different. Yeah. Fine. So here, let us set up Apache web server. Apache web server, we know how to set up all these things. Remember, in our EC2, we already did many times. Yum install -y HTTP D. Everyone, those who don't know how to set up a Apache web server, let's go for it. So what is the command to install Apache web server? Hmm? So guys, here we call it as HTTPD, but in Ubuntu, we call it as what? Apache. So what is the command that we use here? Yum install -y. Which one here? HTTPD. Did we already install? We already installed before, right? Okay, fine. So we install it here. And do you remember what is a web server? What is web server? Web server just takes the request and it will process it. Yes or no? And then what we do is here is web server is like a container. What we need to do, we need to put the applications inside it. Yes or no? Yes or no? Web server generally without any server or a web server, can you host any application? No. So web server has a website, right? Application server has applications which is dynamic. So here also we have web server where we can put your websites. Now the question is, where do you put that website? The question is what? Where do you put the website? Where do you put the website? What's the directory? cd var www html. Go inside it. Online everyone. So once you install the Apache, right? Apache has a default directory. What's that? Apache has a default directory. Which is the directory here? Say that everyone. var www html. So if you do ls, do you have any files here? No. In this place, we need to set up our website. Let's take, for example, here, HTML file we need to put it. So here, what's the command to do it? vi.index.html we need to file. Hmm? We already did, but I'm just reminding it, right? So we already did this in AWS. Remember user data. In user data, we have done this, but quickly I'm showing you because there are so many new people might be there. How to set up web server, I'm showing it. So here you put some sample HTML page. So how do you put the sample HTML page? So, hmm? Yeah. So in W3 schools, I was searching and I found this some what is it called contact form, right? So here, if you click on it here, yes. So we have a sample code here. Instead of this, I call it as or DevOps. Huh? Okay, DevOps. So do you see here itself we can modify it. So let's not do all this shit now here. So let's go and then paste it and then save it. So we have our website ready. So I took a sample website here. So what I did, I installed a web server, and inside what I did, I went to the path. What is the default directory for Apache? var www/html, and go inside it. And what you need to put? Create a index.html file and put your HTML code there. And what we need to do? We need to start the service or not? What's the command to start the service? Okay. System CTL start HTTPD. So our website is hosted or not? Check my website. Yes. Go here. Take our first server. Which one? Public IP. And then put it here. And we have this website. Understood? Which country? Australia, Canada, USA. Okay. Understand now how to set up? Everyone clear? How to set up a website in Apache web server? Is it clear, everyone? Fantastic. Okay, fine. So now I will show you, and there is a command. So guys, there is a configuration file. What is that here? There is a configuration file under this where it contains on which port it is listening. Generally, guys, generally our HTTPD Apache web server listening on which port number? 80. Where do you see all the configuration inside this? Say that here, cat httpd conf. So go inside that directory. So cd, what's that? etc httpd conf. If you go here in ls, do you see httpd .conf? If you do here, let's say quickly cat. So here there should be somewhere where we have it's a big one. It will be listening on, do you see here? Listen 80. So using this 80, but if you change it to 8080, your Apache will be working on which port number? 8080. So this configuration file is important. Please remember this configuration file. Which path is this? etc httpd conf httpd conf. So I showed you how to set up a Apache web server. Let me show you how to set up a Nginx server now. Nginx web server. What's that? Nginx web server. Guys, so similarly, how we have set up Apache? Apache is a web server. Nginx is also an alternate to the Apache. You can use either Nginx or also Apache. So let us go and set up how to set up this Nginx. Guys, this first server is already, I have set up HTTPD. So should I go and set up Nginx on the second server? Yes, online, because HTTP is already there here and it is already working on port 80. Our Nginx also work on port 80. So conflict will come. Either one should be there or else change the port numbers. Change the port numbers. So let us go to the second machine here and let's try to set up what here? Nginx. So what is the command to install Nginx? Online? Nginx is commonly used. So let's go here, yum install -5. Which one here? Nginx. Okay, now Nginx is installed. Like similarly in Apache, we have a default directory. What does the default directory? /var in Apache. /var/ww/html. But similarly here also in Nginx, we have a default directory for Nginx. And that is here, cd, say that usr share Nginx and HTML. This is a default path. So those who have not opted for recordings, I don't know how you take all these notes. Please take it the note. So here, go inside this. And if you do ls, do you see these guys here? We have index.html already. Index.html. So that's the default page is already there. Do you want to see what is the default page? Yes or no? Okay, now tell me, how do I access this website? Just go to where? EC2 instance, take the IP address and put it into the browser. Ooh, is it working? No. Why? Port is already enabled on secret group. No, service we didn't start it, right? Whenever we install any service, here Nginx or any application, by default service will not be started. What's the service? What's the command? Systemctl start Nginx. I start. So now if I refresh it, you see the test page. This index.html is the same, the test page that we got it here. Can you replace this with your own website or not? You can replace. So everyone understood how to set up Nginx, and you also have a configuration file. What's that? I'll talk about it, but Nginx is clear. Nginx as a web server. Nginx as a web server. Sir, one doubt regarding -y. Can we put after also? Yes, you can put, no problem. So I showed you Nginx as a web server where it will host the website. So the Nginx itself has a website now. Yes or no? So it is acting as a web server. But now I'll show you Nginx as a reverse proxy. Nginx was what, Nana, here? Reverse proxy. So before that, what I do? Very good. Right? So here, should we remove the Nginx now? Let's remove and then freshly install it. Okay. So what is the command to remove? Online. What's the command? Very good. M remove. Which one? -y. Which one? Nginx. So Nginx. Let's go and install again. Command M install -y. Which one? Nginx. So it is like this. So we have here client. Here we have client. And client will talk to whom first? Nginx. And this now I call it as reverse proxy. Right? And this reverse proxy will talk to whom? Application server in the backend. So what I do is our application server is nothing but I'll take it as already server 1 is there. No, what do you have here? HTTPD. Assume that that application is running in the backend. And what is the reverse proxy? This application server IP address is there. No, what's our IP address of our Which one is that? First one only, no? This guy, 193. This information, you need to put it here. So whenever client access our Nginx server, that meaning Nginx server has the IP address. Which IP address? Server IP address. Server IP address. So here, this is our Nginx server IP address. This is our application server IP address. Can I spell it? Let's take private IP. No, why go for public IP here? Let's go for private IP. Let's go as a real time. So which one is that? This one only, right? Okay. You're getting it? Is it clear or it is confusing? Clear now? Online? So what I'm doing, is it clear? Online? Very good. So now let's go into the Nginx reverse proxy. And what I'll put the details of my app server. What is the meaning of reverse proxy? Reverse proxy meaning first Nginx will take the request and it will proxy to whom? App server. It just redirecting to the app server. That is what in shortcut we call it as reverse proxy. So we already installed reverse proxy here just now, right? That's the reason why if you have this load balancer concept, so people don't go for Nginx and all. So everything is now replaced with what? Load balancer. If it is Nginx, unnecessarily you need to manage and maintain. But as I want to show you everything, that's the reason why I'm showing. Otherwise, simply I can say, Babu, don't worry about HTTPD or Apache and don't worry about Nginx. Let's go and use a load balancer. Load balancer, I already taught you in AWS. But here we are going for a little bit more details. Okay, Nana. So here we have already installed Nginx or not here? Everyone? So we already installed Nginx and let us go and start our Nginx. Before that, there is something called here conf file. What's that? Conf file. So we need to go, sir, please tell once, which one? Shweta, reverse proxy meaning, as I said, simply it takes the request from the client and then redirect it to whom? Application server. That is what reverse proxy will do. Okay. So let's move on here. Where should we go, Nana, here now? CD, where? etc, where? Nginx. If you go here, do you see this Nginx conf is there? Online, do you see Nginx conf? So let's see what is there in Nginx conf. Oh, do you see a lot of things here? So this is the conf file where you need to put the application server IP address. Where you need to put the application server IP address. Online, you're getting it? Okay. So let us go and put that server. What is the command here to edit the file? pi, say that, nginx.conf. Enter. If you go inside it, don't worry about all these things. So let's come down here. We have some location in this server block. We need to add a new location where this location is ended. No, let's go here and add. Okay. So here we add location slash brackets. And here we need to use proxy pass. What is that? Say that proxy pass http:// which IP address we need to use here? Private IP address of application server. Where is our application server? This guy, right? I need to paste it here. On which port number it is working? 80. Whether you put or don't put doesn't matter. So slash and then semicolon. Does everyone understood? So simply what you need to do now here, save. See, this Nginx, this Nginx is handling any website here? No. If the Nginx is handling the website, that is called web server. If the Nginx is just redirecting to the next application server, then this is called reverse proxy. Simple as that, right? So here, what is the concept? What is the command to restart? Systemctl, which one? Restart Nginx. So now tell me, if I access my Nginx IP address, what should I get? Application, right? Right? So which is this is our Nginx or not? I copy this and I paste it. If I paste it, what should I get? The DevOps contact form. Yes or no? Let's go. So, okay. What we got here? Error. What we got here? Error. So how to find, let's take, I also don't know right here. So I got an error here, right? I got an error. How do we check where is this logs? Whenever you get an error, what is the first thing that you need to check? Logs. So where is this logs? CD. I told you, remember? /var/logs. Log slash which application? Nginx. So here what we have, error log is there. So what is the command? Cat error log. When you open this, do you see this here? So there is some problem here. So what it says here, permission denied. When I was doing this, I also got this error. For that reason, for the solution for this is, somewhere I put it here. Yes. So we need to SE Linux boolean we need to on. Do you see this? Get SE bool grep, which service here? HTTPD. So if you see this, all these things which is handling our website is off, few are off. And what we need to do is we need to on this network connectivity in the backend, we need to on. Okay, so once we on, so let's go back, and if I refresh, and I got our page. You understand? Does the Nginx is handling my website here now? No. What Nginx did? It took the client's request and redirected to the application. And where did I put all these application servers details? Conf file. Which conf file? Nginx.conf file. So there you can mention whatever that you want. Where it's not acting as a web server, no. Nothing happens. It just redirected, right? Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Is it clear? Online? So as I told you, what is that here? When site is maintenance, where to write maintenance.html? Yes, in nginx.conf also, again, you put another location. And if it is not working, response is not more 200, you can display the redirect to the maintenance page also. So guys, nginx, there you can do a lot of things. In nginx.conf, you can do a lot of things. Everything you can do it with it. You can put there itself. So we have used reverse proxy, that is enough. Let's not go for forward proxy. Right? Let's not go forward proxy. So it is better. But is it clear till here? Okay. Online. Is it clear now till here? Do you have any questions till here? Okay. Yeah. So good. So guys, by this, we have completed Linux. Okay. So we took how many days for Linux? 4 or 5 days, right? So 5 days. Good. So did you like the Linux classes? Hmm? Online? Fantastic. Good. Fantastic. Okay. So as I told you, uh, you will anything smooth way, sir. Yeah, good. So guys, remember, if at all you forget any commands, it is very natural that you might forget some commands or syntax. Definitely, no one will remember the syntax. And please remember, in real time, don't think that internet will be off in your company. Internet will be always there in your phones also. Whenever any command doesn't work, if you don't know any syntax, please go ahead and search and then put it. Right? So by heart, it's hard to difficult each and every command. Okay, very good. So what is that? Reverse by concept got clear today. Very good. Yeah. We can do that, Nagarjuna. That is also possible. Okay, so I have already uploaded this Linux in your Google Classroom, all this text file that I have showed to you, and whatever that we have done it, and tomorrow we have class, and tomorrow we'll start what? Git. Tomorrow what we'll start, guys? Everyone, Git. So, but meanwhile, I will give you one small task on Linux. Should I give a small task on Linux? Hmm? Set up FTP server in EC2 instance. Which one? FTP server. That is your task. You can use two instance or you can use a tool also, like WinSCP I use, right? Similarly. So for that, and set up in Amazon Linux 2. What's that? Amazon Linux 2. Um, actually, I also have one more topic here. I have one more topic here. What is this topic is? Passwordless login. What is that? So how two EC2 instance, one EC2 instance can log into another EC2 instance without password. Probably, uh, let's see. But this one I'll be covering also in Ansible, right? Because Ansible need passwordless logins to manage. So, but this is also very easy. If required, tomorrow we'll start with this one small topic, and then we'll jump to the Git. And for you, FTP server, I have already set up everything here, line by line, command to command is there. If you want, let me know. I'll post it. Will you try first? Try first, and if it is not working, please let me know. I'll give the steps for you. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so that's really nice today. Whatever we are using in the real time, we have learned all these things. And please practice all these commands. And these commands will be useful in our coming classes. Okay. Can you give the final CC for today, please, online? So that is all for today. Let's connect. Jagdish, please contact admin once. Okay. So let's connect tomorrow. Sorry. With the next steps, guys. Until then, take care, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.